but I've got a whole lot on my mind today. I've had to make a whole bunch of heavy duty decisions within the last few days to get back to some sort of normalcy that I've had leading up to it. I was starting to get things back under control, and I thought I would let my guards down and allow people in my life. But then I have to realize that my son, as much as I hated it, has been behind a lot of this from the get-go. And in order to, for whatever purpose, to make him, people take more care of him or whatever, have made me out to look like I've been aggressive and mean and controlling and all that to him, when I have really, truly have not. He would say he would do something for me, and then when he would start doing it, he would pick a fight. And I'm pretty sure now, when I look back at it, he was using me as a pawn against myself. He would pick that fight and push me in such a way that I would raise my voice, trying to tell him just to stop, just go on, just leave me alone. I don't matter. It doesn't matter. Just quit. Well, he wouldn't record the fact, the beginning of it when he started it, just the part of it when I would get angry. The people that were put in my life after that would do the same thing. There were the David Sheldons who would pick fights with me, and I'd say, David, don't do that. Just stop. And he would continue and continue and continue until I'd raise my voice a little bit and play stop. And he'd say, well, I'm just looking out for you, Pat. I'm just trying to work this out for you, Pat. David, please stop. Just quit. You're making my blood pressure go up. I'm going to stroke if you keep on. And he would keep on and on and on. And I'm sure now that I look back of it in retrospect, it wasn't about how I got to the behavior I was. It was about the behavior that they produced. And you see, that's how Pat is. I'm not like that. As you can see right now, I'm just as calm as I can be. And everything pretty much has been set up for me to be angry and upset and paranoid today. But I'm not. Because I finally have been able to identify, not necessarily the bad actors, but what the bad actors are doing in my life. And how I cannot allow them, to affect my actions and how I do things. All right. For the past several years, I can honestly say that I haven't been responsible for my own actions. I haven't been responsible for the things that have happened to me, although I have participated in them in such a way as it was laid out for me to participate, if that makes any sense. Today, I'm not willing to allow somebody to affect my life and to make me participate in such a way that is not the way I need to do it. In order to do so, I'm once again having to remove some people that I think might be good for me, but I do know that they are corrupted with bad actors that they're not even aware of. And in order to keep those people out of my life, it's sad to say, but I'm having to remove the others. And it's sad. I'm really sad now. I'm about half crying because of what I'm doing and posting now, and how bad it's affecting me emotionally. And that's going to stop as soon as I quit talking about it. But let me see what this is. I got to go. Hello. Hello.
And how you doing?
Not real good. Sad.
What's going on?
Jeanette, I don't need to get anybody else involved in this. It's people that are not, they're just not who they say they are. And I can't, I don't need that in my life. And in order for me for my life to go back to a normal level, I'm going to have to get people good. Sometimes bad people make good people uh, think things a certain way. And I feel that's what's going on. There's bad actors out there attached to the good actors. And so,
Yeah.
and so by allowing the good actors to be in my life, the bad actors follow.
Yeah.
And so I'm removing Stuart, the church, Johnny Mathis, Eric, the life groups, every last bit of it from my life because of the way I'm being done by the people that I don't think should be doing me the way they are.
Yeah.
And it's sad, and I'm gonna miss y'all, and I miss everybody, but I need to normalize my life. In order to do so, that means I can't allow it, you know. And it's
Well,
sad, it's sad because Christians, I just really don't feel like the Christians uh, are the Christians anymore, because not because of them, but because of the influences they're allowed that are coming into their lives, and
mm,
as a result, people, and I'm going to say this honestly, people like me that really need some help and assistance are not getting it
yeah.
for whatever reason, being that, well, Pat is not what he says he is or whatever. Well, Pat is doing good, and he's trying to do the right thing. All right, because
Yeah.
I've been made out to be an angry, mean, aggressive person. That's not who I am. But if you
I've
set
never
me
heard
off,
anybody say that about you.
I'm not saying they did to you, but I'm and that's what's going on in the overall mass of things. All
Yeah.
right, or that I'm creating problems in my life so that I'll get pity or help, when if I didn't create the problems, they wouldn't be there. Well, no, that's not the way it is.
No,
Um,
I know that.
and But as a result of that, I'm not getting the help and assistance that I need from people that I know would probably be there.
Yeah.
All right. And and I'm even going to point out some names. I said I would never do this, but I'll say this. It's just like Johnny. You know, Pat, can I help you? Yeah, well, Johnny, I really need to put a dog run up because my dogs are getting out and I don't know what to do. You know, and oh,
Yeah.
I'll be there, and then just completely blow me off and completely ignore my calls and so
Mm,
I'm find myself waiting and waiting and waiting when all he had to do is answer the call, be there when he's
yeah.
supposed to, or the whole 9 yards, or don't,
Yeah.
or don't, or really just say no to start with, or don't bother saying you'll be there to start with. In other words,
Yeah.
don't get me thinking, okay, this is taken care of. I just need to wait on it. It's
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of bull.
Yeah. Well, I'm tell you what, I'm gonna be praying for you.
That's all I
And
can
if it
do.
gets to the point that you need somebody, just holler at us, okay?
I don't know what you could do.
Okay. Well, we'll just pray for you, okay?
That's all you can do. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if it just continued my streaming. I don't know if you streamed through the phone call I had or what. But even if you did, that's all right too. Um, that was a phone call from somebody I told I just couldn't have them in my life anymore, and they wanted to know why. And I told them, and of course the last thing that comes out of their mouth was, "If you need something, call us." I've done that before, and it never did any good because for some reason I know that all the people that I've helped out and all the people that I see that are being helped out that are in positions such as mine or even not as bad as mine, people are lining up at the door to help them. They can put up GoFundMe accounts and some people that don't even need it and collect thousands and tens of thousands of dollars for bogus stuff and get help uh, because they can pretend they have cancer, they can pretend they're critical or whatever, and people will just line up at the door to help them. They can need Dr. Phil's assistance, and for whatever reason, he's there for them, and it just blows my mind, that I've not really begged people, but just asked people, have I made a lot of wreckage in my life in the past? I certainly have. Have I learned about it and learned about life from doing so? I certainly have. Have I got something in my life that might be valuable to somebody else? My um, experiences, I certainly have. Why? That assistance to me and help for me, or just uh, everything else for me is just totally blocked. I really don't understand it. There's a whole lot of things that I can say that are really working for me. There's a whole lot of benefits that I'm getting that are truly, truly, truly just priceless. Um, but it just blows my mind that back when I was, you know, running and gunning is what I used to say. Uh, I those people would be there, but now that I'm trying to do the right thing and I'm running and gunning, I'm not pitching that good story out there. Uh, yeah, my dogs are getting out. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. My shop is a mess because I just keep throwing stuff out there because I just haven't felt like getting out there doing it. It's a year ago, right around a year ago, I was actually functioning. All right, I wasn't sick all the time until my house was flooded. Let me tell you the story about behind what I feel like is my house being flooded. I was going to some 12-step groups. All right, some of the bad actors in the 12-step groups, and I can identify them. All right, were using my own words against me. But I was also trying to follow the guidelines of those 12-step groups. One of the guidelines and stuff being is if you have something coming into your mind, it's just a bad idea and you're not supposed to do it. Sometimes if you get it out, get it off your chest, unload it to the group, make it out there in life, and then you can no longer go through or follow through with that bad idea. So I had a bad idea that I would pull a great big old fraud that was going to cover my butt for a long time. And I said, okay, the best way for me to make sure I don't do this, because I kept thinking about it. So, that'd be a good idea. No, it's not. So I said, I'm going to bring this out to the group, all right, and clear my soul of that bad idea. Well, right after I did that, of course, my house flooded. Some of the bad actors came into my life, supposedly helping me clean this stuff up, created more problems, the whole time making it look like I was just trying to pull a fast one when I just wanted to put my stuff back together and get back to work, because doing that was just not the way to do it. As a result of that, my house became infected with black mold. The companies and people that were supposed to come in and help me, it's such a critical phase, should have came in rapidly. Instead, everything was delayed, making everything get worse and worse and worse. The insurance payments were being delayed, so I couldn't get the cleanup done properly, readily, because of the company that was notified to do it. And I'm going to tell you who it was. It was ServPro. I'm going to tell you who one of the bad actors were. No, I'm not. I want to. But the bad actors were multiplying. Because you see what Pat said, in repeating what I said, which was something I just wanted to get it out there to the universe so I wouldn't participate in it. All right. They made it sound like it was something I was doing. several times I have played the game of telephone, putting something out there just to see where it would go and see who would repeat it and see how it would come back to me, just as a test, only to find out that the things I said would come back to bite me in the tail because they were put out there as gospel. It wasn't. But it did teach me today that those bad actors are running those shows. All right. Let me say something. If you are an addict, all right, that means that you can't stop doing something no matter what. You can't just put it down today and not use it again tomorrow because your mind is programmed to use that over and over and over. People that are addicted to different substances, they may be rotting their legs. They may be causing them limbs to fall off and whatever. And but lo and behold, when they come down off it, the first thing they do is they have to have more no matter what. These people are not hospitalized and contained and reprogrammed. There's no way that they will just say, okay, I was healed. And I'm not saying that can't happen. It can happen, yes. But if you're an addict, you can't come into a room and say, I'm an addict, and I came into this program 10 years ago, and when I did, I decided I was not going to do that anymore, and I never had a relapse, and I never faltered, and I never whatever. All right, and I memorized this literature in all these ways, and it's kept me clean and what have you to this very day. My understanding of an addict, and also probably the clinical understanding of an addict, is no matter what, you're not going to just say, I decided to quit and I quit. If that's what happened, you are not an addict. You were an abuser, or you had a problem with something. You saw where it was causing you problems and you stopped it. That is scientifically the way it happened. You are not addicted. If you are addicted to something, you cannot put it down. If it's alcohol, and I say this to the Alcoholics Anonymous groups, to the people that are in it, and to the people I've heard share, the ones that say I've been clean for 10 years or however many years, and say that once I joined this program, I no longer used ever again. I never relapsed or anything. Look at me. I am a guru. You're not a guru. You're a liar. The ones that come in and say, look, I wanted to do this program and I relapsed over and over and over. I've had a rough time. This is the way it's worked for me. It's just never been easy. All right. That is an addict. That is somebody that's truly working the program to get better. That's not somebody that's trying to take advantage of you. That's not somebody that's lying to you. That's not somebody that's got the literature memorized. All right. That's somebody that's lying to you and trying to take advantage of you. Beware. That is the reason why I have chosen not to become and keep going to those programs because I've tried them over and over and over for decades, and they only worked for me for a short period of time until somebody would be putting forth in my life that would cause me to go down once again. Man, this is going to piss a whole lot of people off, and I'm not here saying this because I'm saying 12-step groups are bad. The whole foundation of it is very good, but you have to remember, bad actors are multiplying. They're finding ways and means to get back out there. All right, the people that are bringing in the drugs, all right, that are doing the things are not the ones that are going to get in trouble for it. All right, they're the ones that are going to be getting the benefits from the money and what have you as well. All right, big business people are the ones bringing in the tons and tons of narcotics. All right, it's not the little guy that they're busting with a kilo. It's the guy that funded the shipment that came in, all right, that broke down into the kilos. It's not the, the truck that got pulled over with 150 tons in it, all right, has nothing compared to the truck, or not truck, but the ship that came in with a whole load of it, all right, that they're filtering out to people. Um, the little guy that sold one little bag, all right, is not the guy that needs to be in jail. All right, he's the guy that needs some help. All right, it's not the guy that sold him the quarter, all right, for him to break into the bags to sell. That person needs a little bit more help. It's the person that broke down the big bale, all right, that needs to be in trouble. All right, and it's not necessarily him that's responsible for it. It's the big businessman with a suit on that looks like he couldn't be responsible for it, and he's not involved in it. The one that's out there preaching against it, all right, in his everyday life. He's the one that's funding the whole 9 yards. Just like the CIA and all of them bringing the cocaine in back in the 80s. All right, they were fighting drugs, this and that. No, they weren't. They were bringing them all in. It was all about money, all right, and then they were acting like they were fighting it to look like they were the good guys, so you won't look at them. And then there's same time they're saying, let me tell you who it is. That's who it is. It's the black man doing it, all right. So now everybody's down on the black man. Well, the black man had nothing to do with it. He was just a pawn, all right, for the bad actors. God be with me in saying all this, all right, because I'm gonna piss a whole lot of people off with this, all right. But I've literally had to cut my church off. I've literally shut everybody down from church. Did it today because I noticed the bad actors that were appearing in there around me, and when those bad actors appear, then things start occurring in my life, to make my life more difficult. When I stay away from those bad actors, I can start to feel better. All right, I can start to get things under control because I'm not allowing bad actors who are attached to good actors come in and cause me problems. If I leave my door open for somebody that I know is a good person, but they're not aware of the bad people behind them, all right, the bad people are going to slip in behind the good people. So today in my life, sad as it is, I have to say no to the good people. I can't allow you in my life, because my well-being is more important than that. All right, I can try to get a little bit of the good out there to people, and maybe, if I'm very, very lucky, some of the good people will actually still be there for me, even though I've said I don't want you there, because they understand what I'm saying. And the rest of them either don't understand what I'm saying or don't care. And thank God, like I said today, I'm not paranoid. I'm not seeing something that happened and hallucinating more into it, because that's what I did before. Something would happen and it would spin me out in such a way that I would go, I got to solve this, da 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 da. I got to get somebody else to believe what I'm saying. I've got to get somebody else to see that this is happening. Well, I don't have to get somebody else to see that this is happening. All right, I don't have to prove to you that this is happening. I hope that if it's something that you need or can believe in or can use, or something that helps you get by with the things going on in your life, it will help you. But if you do, that's all right. It really doesn't help me, all right, because only I and God can help me, and my dogs are there for me. And anyway, um, and I just have to keep the bad actors out of my life. Um, and like I said, and the good actors that I've run off, I'm sure some of them are going, Pat's, he's spinning out, um, he's hallucinating, he's seeing things that aren't there, and all that. Poor Pat. No, it's not poor Pat. Uh, not today. Poor Pat yesterday when I was allowing this to happen. Yay for Pat today for accepting the fact that it's going to happen if I keep allowing the door to be open for the good actors with the bad actors that are trailing behind. I don't know. I really and truly, I just don't know. The only thing I really do know is that if I just keep trying to do the right thing, if I just keep trying to live my life without hurting someone else, how much better I'll be. If I ask my God for forgiveness, and I truly believe that He will, I know that I will go to heaven in the end. I know I don't have to corrupt somebody else's view of someone else to make the view of me look better. And if somebody else is corrupting the view of me to make them look better, please question. Please question that. Because it's not, I can't make myself taller by telling everybody you're shorter. I have to grow. And in order to do so, that's something I personally have to do without stepping on somebody else. Oh man, it's another 30 minutes of babble coming to you from the crazy one-legged old man in a wheelchair, live at the Funny Farm with Tink, Tink, and Queenie. And I have a backache and I'm tired and I don't feel good. And I'm wearing the same shirt I was 2 or 3 days ago. And if I feel like it, maybe I'll change clothes today. Can't promise you I will. Because today, really, the most important thing is just to kind of try to feel good, figure out a way to put up a dog run, and take care of my animals, and be nice to other people. And that means if I say I'm going to do something, by golly, I have to do it. And that doesn't mean saying I'm going to do it and then just ignoring that person after that because I don't want to get around to it or because I don't want to have to deal with it. If I said I'm going to do it, whether I want to do it or not, at that point, I have to just do it because I said I would. I am what I am. All right. And it doesn't matter if you are a preacher, a baker, a candlestick maker, an Air Force pilot, a real estate agent, a real estate broker, a carpenter, a yard man, whatever. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And how can I believe that you're a good person in what you are at if you're not doing what you say you're going to do? I can't believe that you're a good preacher or a good real estate agent or a good pilot or a good yard man or a good carpenter or anything else if you don't do what you say you're going to do. It's kind of like when I was out running and gunning. Before I got spun out, everything I said I would do for people I did. I worked for very established clients, all right, some people that were really some powerful people. And I took very good care of them, and I was always there doing what I'm supposed to do. Rabbis and churches and banks and big business people, people that were over the gambling, senators, big time doctors. And I was always there to do what I said I was going to do until I wasn't. When I spun out, I was no longer able to do that. And then I couldn't say that I was the good person I was anymore. All right. Don't be that person. All right. Be there do what you say you're going to do. Continue to do so. Because if you don't, you're not the person you say you are. You're something else entirely. That's enough. See ya.